Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Taylor Jones. Do you have any, and I do mean any idea what time it is? If you don't, it's time for you to get prepared for season 7 of Cold Man's Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Taylor Jones, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, TC Jones Edits, as well as another episode of Cold Man's Winter. For those that's wondering, why is it taking you so long to make a new episode? Well, I'm sorry if y'all feel offended by my absence, because work is always in the way, and it's always a big deal when you get older. Like, you lose energy, you get tired, but at this point, it's about time I need to catch up. So, Cold Man's Winter, episode 6. No, make that episode 7. But for those that didn't watch the last episode, don't worry, the link will be in the description bar down below. And I'm looking forward to finishing what I started, because I got to get back on the grind. But what is Cold Man's Winter actually, without explaining about oh yes, Black History Month. What is Black History? Now, when I think of the fact that today is the 27th, I decided to come up with a episode, because Black History Month is almost over and it shouldn't be fair to ignore Black history, because it's been ignored for a while. Some people believe that Trump did his very best to shut us up. Well, it's going to take a nation of billions to shut us up, just like it took a nation of millions to hold Public Enemy back. But now times have changed, and we still felt like, nah, forget that. DEI, it ain't gonna die. DEI is gonna stay alive, because some companies, black-owned companies, black-owned businesses, they decided to ignore the POTUS and his bigot related ways. Like, keep it going. Like, can't keep on moving, don't stop. No. It's like, man, we came a long way to be humiliated by somebody who don't want to see us succeed. But it's more than one person. It's more than the Klan. It's more than everybody who thinks that we're wasting our time trying to build up, like, increase the peace in the future. And some of them, they rather see us, brothers and sisters, fight, not get along, and or worse, kill each other. But sometimes it's worse than that, because we were all like trapped in a maze, and we're the mice. But instead of being called mice, we're considered rats. That's like when you think of the word hood rat, talking about sassy hood type women. Like, no, we've been through the thick of it for more than 400 years. We've been through the thick of it since the Jim Crow laws. We've been through the thick of it since slavery was over. I mean, every year we have to pay tribute to icons, legends, both dead and alive, and the ones that paved the way for us to be where we are today. I mean, and for a while on my Facebook, I decided to come up with a post and give shout outs to the people that are still alive and kicking close to me, the people that I know so far, whether at church or at work or at home and whatnot. I actually decided to give them a shout out because we've been through a lot. We black folks been through a lot of good and bad. From Brother Donald Woods and his wife June Parchman Woods, the new minister and the new first lady of Front Street Church of Christ, Milan, Tennessee, since last year. Followed by my grandfather, Charles Taylor, the original member, the original preacher, who resigned, but he's still preaching. Followed by Melvin Hampton, Brother L.B. Lawrence and his wife, Sadie, from Eastside Church of Christ, Trenton, Tennessee. Another minister and his first lady of the church. My fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, including Charlotte Simpson Fisher, Brother Showbeck Death Row, from Bolivar, Tennessee, Tate Road to Selmer, which was Forest Hill, and now he's at East Jackson Church of Christ in Jackson, Tennessee. Brother Roger Jones, Taylor Street Church of Christ, Kenton, Tennessee. I mean, the list goes on and on. I care so much about my African American brothers and sisters in Christ. But what about the brothers and sisters that you work with and go to school with that made an impact, like Katrina Smith, a former fellow co-worker at Walmart? She came in 2017, left after New Year's Eve, and she moved on. Last time I saw her in person, she worked at Humboldt Walmart. But she's been through a lot. From working at Walmart to being at the Humboldt Chronicle and even worked for USA Today, to staying in Humboldt, from a Humboldt employee at Walmart to being a teacher at East Elementary. I mean, that's a big resume. But what about other brothers and sisters like Priscilla Heron, Nicole Simmons, Ayanna Baker? What about them? They run businesses, including Timberly DeBerry. They got a job. Some do hair, others do nails, and they taking over. Whether they from Milan or Trenton or Humboldt or Jackson, it's worldwide. Black history has been spreading worldwide, even when it's silenced. But I realize that we can't be silenced. We have to show and prove, like the old soulful song by Al Wilson or Woodson, whatever his last name was, talking about show and tell. Well, we are showing and telling the world that we are not backing down for anybody who thinks that they don't like what we do for a living. They always lie on us. Well, it's obvious they are not like us. They don't give a dang about us. But we don't care about them neither. We don't care about their negativity. We've been depressed for too long. We've been oppressed for too long as well. But we regret not to do a thing about it. But what about the other individuals that you gave a shout out to in Facebook for your Black History Month posts? I thought about Avery Williamson, who was 2 grades older than me when we went to school in Milan. He had his high school jersey retired, and nobody from now on will rock jersey number 19 because the jersey is retired. All that hard work that Avery Williamson did for Milan Bulldogs, even back-to-back championships, but they ended up runner-up, to being a Wildcat in Kentucky, to coming back to Tennessee to play for the Titans. Then he moved on to New York, New York Jets, and then ended as a Steeler. But then afterwards, he just retired because NFL's not for everybody, and it's like it's not enough for some folks. However, he did go back to his Milan, Tennessee roots, and he got a studio opened up called Wow Studios. From a football star to giving back to his hometown, Milan. Who else do I think of when it comes to being an impact? A prime example of Black history in my lifetime that I can think of. Well, sheesh. I mean, my classmates, Kenneth Junebug Cook and Londre Superman Hicks, graduated high school and then served for the country. One was a Marine Corps. The other one was in the Army. And for that, I gotta thank them for their service. I mean, there's so much going on that nobody understands how thankful they are to be recognized for what they've done, what they've accomplished, and how much they meant to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like Black history, it has a purpose. Smokey Robinson said it best. Black's not a color, it's a core. So many people have been living and fighting and dying for. I mean, even through my depression, my mental health, I gotta remember, because Smokey Robinson said it best. I love being black. I love being called black. I love being American. I love being a Black American. He don't like the phrase African American. He just rather be called black. But if you choose to be called African American, then I'll give you I'll give you your reference. But due to the fact that we the people, we the black people, we chose to live, to fight, to die, to tell the world, just like an old gospel hymn, a church hymn, I shall not be moved. We seen what happened to Rosa Parks. We seen what happened to everybody who were like freedom riders. We seen what happened to the college kids at a diner. We seen what happened to the folks at the Bloody March, the Bloody Sunday March, that is, in Selma. No, Selma. Selma, not Selmer. There's a difference between Selma and Selmer. Selmer, that's one of the Tennessee cities. But I'm talking about Selma as in Alabama or something. It takes a whole lot more to be called a king and queen, a prince and a princess, to be a Nubian, brand Nubian. It takes more than being a teacher, a poor righteous teacher. It takes more than being in the clan, the X clan. It takes more than being an enemy, a public enemy. It takes more than being revolutionary, like KMD, talk racing about politic issues, political intrigues. Even when it comes to being revolutionary, but from the hood, from the West Coast, like Paris. I mean, we all got philosophies, just like KRS-One and the Boogie Down Productions. I mean, we've been surrounded by a lot of isms, to the fact that under my Uncle Bean rap persona, I made a song called Let's Realize. When in the third verse, I said something like this. When I was born, 1994, we were sparking madism, mad weed. Madism is a slang for weed. Five Dog referencing. Brought a bag of isms from the smoke shop. Black Moon was brought that up. Baby, you were spark madism. KRS-One and Channel Live, they made a song about it. They said whack MCs are sparking up madism. When I was born, we were sparking madism. When I was 3, we lived in Baduism, Erykah Badu's debut album. And it goes on and on and on and on. But what do you think is going to happen in our next lifetime? I don't know. Man, I just thought that Baduism is actually powerful, positive. Sparking madism, sparking mad weed, smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. That's too much. And there's always an excuse on why people do it. And there's a bad side of smoking weed, but there's a good side. But back to my verses. When I was born, we were sparking madism. And when I was 3, 1997, we lived in Baduism. In 9/11, we witnessed terrorism. 9/11. And you know what's funny? We lost R&B singer Aaliyah a couple weeks before 9/11 took place. August 25th, Aaliyah dies. 2 weeks later, 9/11, we lost everybody from World Trade Center and the Pentagon. Stupid stuff happens. Stupidity, racism, terrorism. To the fact that after mentioning the words that end with the isms, even when Dave Chappelle said, I am tired of racism, I am tired of sexism, I am tired of all the isms that plagued our society, except Baduism. I like that record. But after saying madism, Baduism, and terrorism, in the words of the late, great Dwight Arrington Myers, better known to y'all as the overweight lover, Heavy D, I'm really sick and tired of the isms, schisms. I'm sick and tired of the isms, the negative ones. Terrorism, communism, all the evil isms in this world. IZM or ISM. One way or another. We all gotta realize that we have an actual realism to face. Now, why not lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven rings? laid in the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as high as the listening skies. Man, it's hard to remember the lyrics when you don't pay attention. And thankfully, everybody started to perform it at the Super Bowl. Lift every voice and sing. And the last time this happened, Coco Jones, Miss ICU, dressed up to honor the memory of Whitney Houston and her white tracksuit with the red stripes and the white headband. Everybody's trying to be phenomenal. Everybody's trying to stand out. But sometimes it takes a whole lot more. I mean, to perform America the Beautiful, nobody made that song powerful than Ray Charles. And even Alicia Keys had to honor Ray Charles' memory in one Super Bowl because of that song. The national anthem. Everybody remembers Whitney Houston. But what about somebody else than her? It's more than one person. Luther Vandross. Boyz II Men in their iconic a cappella style. Either that or Take 6. I mean, it's more than that. It's more than America the Beautiful. It's more than the national anthem. It's more than Lift Every Voice and Sing. It's more than the Super Bowl. This is more. Black history is so much more. Whether you wear colors of red, yellow, and green like a traffic light, that was created by a black man named Garrett Morgan, who also built a gas mask. But there's also another way to represent. And of course, almost every song ends with, every song that was performed by X-Clan, the late Lumumba Carson, aka Professor X, the Overseer, always screams out, "By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green at the crossroads, sissy, with the key." Which colors you choose, red, yellow, or green, or red, black, and green. It's either way, black history is still black enough for me. More black than my skin, more black than my hair, more black than my afro pick in my afro, mini fro, whatever you consider my hairstyle. We went from nappy to straight, curly to cut. Even when we were ridiculed for our hair, and especially at jobs, racism still does not get away with murder. Because one day racism is going to get exposed based on how many people are fed up with oppression and bullies that's dealing with it. But when it's self-oppression, black on black, like the infamous cop scene on Boys in the Hood, with a gun, a Smith & Wesson or a revolver on Trey's neck, made him cry in fear. Which is based on real life from the late John Singleton, who was in this situation. I ain't do nothing. You think you tough. Enough. There's too many times we've been screaming FTP. Forget the police. Well, forget being caught up in situations like that. Forget black on black crime. Forget self-oppression. Forget depression. Forget being transmitted or transferred to the ICU, the hospitals, and or worse, forget being sent to our own graves as well as a jail cell. Back then and even until this day, 3 strikes, you're out. Too quick. But I'd rather turn it around. Like Pee Wee Kirkland, who decided not to play for UCLA, not to play for the Chicago Bulls, but to make money by hustling, to the fact that he had to serve time for his mistakes, and now he's a motivational speaker. It's kind of like the same thing, like when a female gangster rapper, but she's mostly singing in rap styles. From Oakland, California, a female by the name of Passion. After 2 albums, Baller's Lady in 96, released an MCA, but she got dropped, to making another album in 99 or 2000, and then afterwards she left the scene, and now she's like a motivational speaker, including her son. I mean, rap is not for everybody. Playing sports is not for everybody. That's how we were brought up. But with God, all things are possible if you only believe and put Him first. And also, if you have brothers and sisters that comfort you to do exactly what needs to be done, you listen to them. That's the thing that always irks me, because nobody listens. And for me to suffer like this, it's like laziness is still in my bones, but due to the fact that it's Black History Month, I gotta break out. It's kind of like this. If there is a mouse or a group of mice, what does that make us? Rats. That's how we were picked at. If there is a dove, then what does that make us? Not a bat. No. And you dang sure know we ain't no crow or a raven. But if that's the case, if there's a white bird, there's a black bird. A dove and a crow/raven. A mouse/ a rat. Any color, any depiction. One is good, the other is bad. Even Paul Mooney thought that was like the lamest excuse. But he kept it real, because we blacks, we've been picked on too long, but not this time. That's why I took the time to honor everybody that's still alive and kicking in my area, my neighborhood, my life, my church, my workforce, my Black history, mine, and nobody else. But you gotta remember, I'm not the only one that has to stand out for what I believe in. Because it always happens, whether expected or unexpected. Because Black history, to me, is here to stay. It can't be silenced. If only that was true for everybody that's been dealing with hardships in their life. Because once you struggle, you'll find a way to succeed later on. In the words of DMX, R.I.P., as he quoted the late Friedrich Nietzsche on this iconic song, Slippin', you see, to live is to suffer. To survive, well, that's to find meaning in the suffering. Long live Black history. Whether yet red, yellow, or green, or red, black, and green, Black history is still here to stay until this very day. With all that being said, thank you for taking the time out to watching a brand new episode, the Black History Month episode of Cold Man's Winter, episode 7. And for the latest videos, the link will be in the description bar down below. And with all that being said, how can I end this episode without mentioning this week's Sweet Lady of the Week? But instead, I will give you two Sweet Ladies of the Week. Now, who are the sweet ladies, Taylor Jones? Well, the sweet ladies that I can think of, especially in Black History Month, is none other than Deanna, the mother, and Ayanna, who I brought up earlier in this video, the daughter. The Bakers, Ayanna and Deanna Baker. With all that being said, thank you so much for what I have, for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. If you like what you see and if you like what you heard, feel free to do these things. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click on the notification bell, and there'll be more in stores. Stay tuned for more Cold Man's Winter Season 7. Until then, this is yours truly, Taylor Jones, signing out.